Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. You could have planets in the sign of Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for November 2021. We're going to start with our Mother Mary deck. This is an oracle deck. Everything's pre-shuffled. Let's go ahead and give it a cut. And we're going to get right into your reading. Okay, we have Jesus in the upright, or facing up, I should say. I pray for Jesus to help and give me guidance with this situation. We also have, we're not going to keep all these, but we are going to look at them. We have integrity, we have quiet, and we have enthusiasm. Integrity. I trust my ability to know what is true for me. Quiet. I go into peaceful silence and I listen. Enthusiasm. Whatever I am most passionate about is the direction I flow. Can be an answer, right? All right, we are going to use, first let's use this deck. This is a deck of major arcanas. We're just going to bring a few of these out. I feel like I do this every once in a while, probably a couple times a year. They are just major arcanas, and they are really, I feel like what they do is they give us the bullet point of a reading, the bullet points. So we'll take a couple. Sometimes they can tell a little story all on their own. Many times, actually. But then still relate to your whole reading. Okay. We have the world. The world. A new chapter. This is when your spirituality, this is when you're using your spirituality in your earth, in this earthly plane. We have the Hangman. Seeking wisdom before I take my next step. Well, then we have the Fool. So, receiving that wisdom, and I'm saying that because next we have the Chariot. Card of Cancer. Chariot is moving into the future. It's like carrying the Fool on its back. I feel like this is, someone, something, either you, the Hangman can feel stuck, tied to a situation. But at the same time, he's seeking wisdom in his next step. The Fool is almost his answer, saying you got to take a chance, you got to take a leap. The Chariot is almost the promise of, well, where can I take it? Well, you can take it anywhere you choose, my dear. And the world is the chapter, is something new that's opening to you. But there is nothing to fear here. I feel like the world is where your intuition is like your GPS. Period. No doubt. Okay. We'll see how they play in the reading, in the spread. So we're going to use the Light Seers Tarot. I know there's a little bit of a glare there, and I apologize. I should turn my light off. We have the Empress. Empress is about to give birth to someone. We have the Strength card of Leo. This is an inner strength. I feel like the Strength card represents the Empress perfectly, because the Empress is gentle. And that's what the Strength card is. What I learn in this energy is I learn how to make my energy gentle. But in the Strength card, I'm also strong, right? I'm part lion here. I'm strong. I'm the king of my jungle. But the Empress, that's what I learned. That's what she carries. Some of you, that is what you're seeking. And then we have Judgment. Interesting, because Judgment's coming under the Fool, and this asks for a rebirth within Judgment. Judgment's a call to attention. It's like your guide saying, I need you here. I need you in your present moment. I'm noticing the two. So we'll see what that's about. But anyway, it's, and I feel like this is also your guide saying, allow yourself to connect to the inner Fool within you. The one who takes chances, took chances. Sure, the Empress has been pulled down, but she's gotten back up and she's learned. Now she's giving birth through her wisdom to something else. So it feels like it's time. Whatever that may mean. A lot of people look at the Hangman as a block, but I really don't feel him so much as a block, because I feel like in this energy, there is something going on. I am seeking wisdom. I do want to know what I can know about my next step. Now, it can become a hindrance, right? Because maybe I want to know how it will end, and only you will determine that, right? But it's starting at the Fool's energy. The Chariot just feels like, doesn't feel like there's a limit. Wow. Hello, Ace of Cups. So, first of all, the Ace is you. Self, love of self. This is having your heart center opened, connected to the Chariot. We have, hello, Ten of Pentacles. What's going on here? And then we have the High Priestess. I feel like some of you are becoming a family. Like, there's a family that is being built here. And maybe there's a little fear about that, but I don't know. I feel like there's this could certainly talk about, how do I want to say this? Because Judgment is saying you need to be present, right? To enjoy this, to see it, to feel it, you need to be present. And there's a, and I need to be able to take a chance and be willing to pay attention to my intuition, right? Be willing to know that whatever I'm faced with, that I can deal with it. I can overcome it, right? Why? Because I've been there, done that. See it. All right, let's finish out the block. We have the Ten of Swords. It's interesting because I'm looking at Judgment and I'm thinking, for some, I feel like, I want this change so bad. With the Ten of Swords connected to that, right? That is, I feel like what this is saying, and it's like giving you a sense of freedom of the past, of all this that you carried with you forever. All the, hard words that were spoken to you, all the mental things that you needed to go through. A lot of this was to really teach you about your intuition. That maybe this part of me can only come through what may have felt like struggle, right? But I feel like ultimately what it's saying is your job, if you want it, or your purpose within this was to, know when to free yourself, know when to shake off the past. Why? Because you're you, because you're special, right? Because you are unique, because somebody else may not value you in that way, but you should value you in your that way. Jesus is here. So, be gone, fools. I feel like, fools of the past, be gone. High Priestess just feels like you now knowing like what was true, what was not true. Interesting, the High Priestess comes between the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. What's above it? Strength card and the Hangman. So you're learning something. It's strengthening you. You're becoming stronger. Yes, it's taking some time. But I feel like it's taking more time than needed. If I look above the Ten of Swords, is judgment, call to attention, right? It has nothing to do with the swords of the past. Like the Ten Swords, when judgment calls you, like swords be forgotten, like be gone. And judgment's looking right up at the Fool. So I feel like you're also being called into movement. Fool's looking at the Hangman like, we gotta go. We gotta go. I have the Chariot. I have an extra seat right beside me. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles tells me this is a soul's journey. However, I do feel very strongly this Ten of Swords is energy that you've been in, and this is what you are overcoming. This is where you're realizing, what's been true, what's been false. And I feel like from that, not just cutting ties, but first you're gaining the wisdom of that energy, and it really is making you stronger. Seven of Pentacles with both these tens here, Ten of Pentacles and Ten of Swords, tells me, because they feel like the opposite of each other, but both exist, right? It's like the light and the dark. We may not like the dark. Well, some people do. But we have to learn that when we're in it, because we're bound to go through it, right? We're bound to go through it, even when we're in a great period. But as the Empress, now we know how to get through it. We don't get stuck in that mud. Anything that I go through, I know that I can learn from it. The Ace of Cups right above that, is definitely, for some of you, it's a journey of love, and it hasn't always been good. But don't look at it as a waste of time, because you yourself have grown. Some of you, you have the energy. You got the Ten of Pentacles, the Empress in the world, of putting down roots with someone, starting a family with someone, blending a family. But this is a family that becomes close. I feel them very close. Could you be a family that ends up working together? I feel like there's like a family who sings together. Anyway, it may not be now. And maybe because the Ten of Swords is here, right? And one can't exist within the other. Seven of Pentacles says don't give those things any more weight than they need, right? Don't give them that weight. Keep your heart center open. Okay, what do we have at the bottom of the deck? Wow, we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, well, the good news is it's on the bottom of the deck. So this is the energy that may have been around you. This can certainly be. We had like a lot of planets in retrograde. And that could definitely mess with your mind above other things. I was typing the other day, and all of a sudden my typewriter started typing backwards. Like my words were showing backwards. And first thing I thought is, well, like, hello, Mercury retrograde. You know what I mean? So, the Nine of Swords, I feel like when it's like how I just said that, like, instead of freaking out, I knew that it was Mercury retrograde. I knew that, that I was going to be affected. I'm ruled by Mercury. Um, so I didn't freak out because it's like I almost expect during Mercury retrograde that like I save my work more than I would ever save it. Like if I'm uploading a video, every time I change a word, I'll save it. Where normally I just do all my changes and then save it. So anyway, why am I telling you about that? Um, because some energy we don't have to worry about, right? If I don't know that, I could have been freaking out like, oh my God, my computer's broken. I can't afford to buy a new computer, that type of thing. So, because it's unnecessary worry. But it's unnecessary worry that can manifest itself as depression, as anxiety, as doom, oncoming doom, that type of thing. Like, how can anything ever be good? Everything's always bad. So I feel like the hangman was probably pretty important here, right? Because it's almost like I had to find myself within all this to open up the next gate. And by the way, like, these chapters are meant to happen. It doesn't mean our life changes, but there's elements, and ultimately it does change our life, right? We're always evolving, and that's a good thing. Okay, let's go ahead and bring out the Gilded Tarot. Someone may be giving birth, and maybe you're having a difficult pregnancy. I feel like it's going to be fine, because I do feel the energy of people starting families. It's interesting because we're moving into a universal year 6 next year, and that has a lot to do about relationship. Think of the sixes of the tarot, right? The Six of Pentacles, the give and take, right? The open, being open to receiving, but also giving, right? Both in equal, helping the underdog, finding joy from that, knowing, the Empress, that's what she does naturally at this point, right? She helps the underdog because she's been the underdog. Strength card right beside that. It's the opposite of the Nine of Swords. I don't think I can. I don't think I can. I don't think I can. I know I can. I know I can. I know I can. I know I can. I don't think I can. I don't think I can. This energy wants to leave. This energy is coming in. I think I can. I think I can. Okay. Shout out to my granddaughter Faith, who is December 26th. Chances are she's not watching. She's a little young. We have, hello lovers. So we have the Lovers, card of Gemini. I really love this over the Empress. We have the Ten of Wands coming over the Strength card. Perfect, right? Ten of Wands is a period in my life where, it's just like a lot of responsibility. I took on more than I should. It can be backbreaking, but I feel like that is of the past, or at least it should be. You know, touching the hangman, but also touching strength. Ten of Wands isn't somebody who runs and hides. It can talk about like even the learning of did I give too much? Do I give myself away and not allow myself to receive? Do I take on the majority of the responsibility, and I need to learn to delegate type of thing? Like it doesn't have to be all on my back, because I feel like it's like you or life or the situation should be more joyful. And I feel potentially it will be. So, a Ten of Wands seems important. It's like doing all the work. I feel like there's a few single moms who are finding love. Who've been doing it alone maybe for a while. I feel like if this is you, you feel it coming in, unless that Nine of Swords is overwhelming you. Then that just means you're like, you know, that means you need to stay in the hangman position a little longer, right? Like seek the wisdom, ask for the wisdom, you know, ask and ye shall receive. We have the Seven of Swords over the Fool and Judgment. So 7 is a very spiritual number, coming over Judgment. It's a tricky number, tricky energy. I feel like it's talking of the past. I almost feel like someone's saying, like praying, like get these thoughts out of my head. I don't want to think them anymore. And I feel like, okay, I feel like it's going to happen. But I also feel like there may be just a need to say, okay, but what am I carrying that is just like excess weight? You know, am I willing to let it go? So I feel like, you know, the universe is responding to you in kind. Like, I want this. Okay, well, give me this and I'll give you this. We have the Five of Wands. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Swords. Can be Aquarius, pointing right up at Gemini, and can be Libra. And then we have the Emperor. You know, I just want to say that I don't normally read the Emperor negative, and I'm not really, well, in a way I am, I guess, because I feel like there's energy within this Emperor that he carries. And I feel like it's talking about someone who was demanding, let's say, you know, like almost like expected respect. Maybe didn't earn it. And I also feel like there's a little bit of a fear factor attached to this person. You know, I don't feel like this person is trustworthy, was trustworthy, and I want to say was. And I feel like for some of you, it's your father. And because I feel like what it's saying is there's an issue that's within you that truly is like your father's to carry, not yours. It's not your burden. It affected you, right? But it doesn't have to alter the direction of your life unless you allow it. Ten of Swords tells me that this may be something that has been allowed, that's been carried, and that may be the heaviness I'm feeling in that Ten of Wands. Something's been carried around for quite a while, and it can relate to trust issues. Maybe you know, I hate to keep putting it like on my father, but I'm feeling the Emperor like that. You know, maybe he was someone who was unfaithful. And isn't it crazy how, like, what we hated the most many of us end up in as young adults, myself included, right? But and what did I have to learn? I had to see it. I had to see it. I had to see that there were issues that I had to deal with, so that I didn't keep ending up in that. Anyway, I feel like, for some of you, it's like maybe your voice was taken away, but I feel like the opposite now needs to happen. You need to have your voice, find your voice. Let's see what comes out next is Emperor. It's like, maybe just like if this person's like a narcissist, maybe the best that I can hope for is that I get away from it. And if that is what you want, that is what you'll do. And that may be the best, because that is enough, getting away from it. You know? That Nine of Swords can turn into isolation. We have the Page of Wands, but the Page of Wands is in reverse. We have the Devil, your card of Capricorn. A lot of earth right here, and that may talk about like the more grounded you feel, the better you handle things, the better better life is. We have the Seven of Wands coming over the High Priestess. The Seven of Wands puts you somewhat in defensive energy, where you're defending yourself, you're defending your actions, you're defending your truth, your voice. And I feel like, and so you should. Some of you are not at that point, and that's what you're moving into. Now listen, I feel like, I feel like deeply within this type of environment, what I'm learning is how to find my voice, is how to find my own truth amongst all this heaviness, to live my own truth. Listen, I could have just made a mistake and ended up with this Emperor. This could be like, my now person. And again, reminding me of my father. Her back is to the Emperor. And, the Emperor puts her in somewhat of a defensive mode. But here's this Lover up here. I don't feel like it's this Emperor. I just don't. And I don't necessarily feel like that you shouldn't defend yourself, but I also feel like sometimes no solution comes. We have the Five of Wands up here, and that is just like the eternal battle, right? The eternal battle. The Page of Wands in reverse. I'm refusing to allow myself to be the fool. Free and clear, right? Freedom. Right? The creator of my life. And the Chariot under that is saying, baby, here's the energy, here's what you need. Like, what you need will be there when you need it. When you free yourself. It's interesting because like the last reading I did, I felt like mothers who maybe weren't so great as mothers on this earth time now as guides, that energy is free and clear, right? God has forgiven them. Jesus, says forgive. And so it is. So anyways, and I felt like, and then they became these very front forward guides in their lives now. And I kind of feel the same thing here with this Emperor. It's almost like whether my father is alive or if he has passed, if he has crossed over, Jesus is here. So Jesus is all about forgiveness, right? And he may be now part of, your guides. And I think what that means is trust your intuition, because I feel like if I come up across this type of energy again, maybe it really is narcissistic type of energy, because I feel like the amount of time in it has been a lot. Great. The longer you're in it, the harder it is to leave it, right? Sometimes the harder it is to leave. It's almost like you adapt, right? But you lose yourself in it, right? You lose yourself in it. So I feel like sometimes, and sometimes you cannot win the battle, but the battle's not worth winning anyway. Hmm. Hmm. We have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups, first of all, touching upon the Ten of Swords. And that is the door that we're hoping is going to be closed. It has the progression of the 9 to the 10. So there is a chance of it, almost feeling even worse, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. Sometimes I feel like I can't win that battle, and maybe I do just need to get away from it, see it, understand it. And I feel like the more I understand it and the more I trust in my intuition, um, and in my guides and in Jesus, the clearer my steps become to me. So we have the Knight of Cups down here, and this is about a cup that's coming toward you. Don't forget, a knight has a mission, and its mission is to reach you and to bring you something. This one is bringing you a cup of fulfillment. We have the Ace of Cups right there. I feel like there's someone who's saying, sometimes it's just better to be in a relationship than be alone. And I completely disagree with that. Sometimes it's better to be alone than to be in a relationship that puts you in such sorrow type energy. Look at this, 9 of Pentacles. Wow, this is the energy of independence, of success. This is about building, building a life for you through your own wisdom, your creativity, your work, your blood, your sweat, your tears. But the reward is also yours. The reward is all yours. This is someone who becomes very strong within themselves. It's like I see a word, orchard. I don't think it's there. Orchard. This can certainly be an opportunity that's coming to you in some form. Again, it can be intuitively, like intuitively you're feeling a step to take that pulls you towards this 9 of Pentacles. Something that you, listen, I may work hard in this energy, but I love what I do at the same time. I see its value. It brings me purpose, but maybe within it bringing me purpose, I'm also helping to bring others purpose. You're definitely doing what it feels like you're meant to be doing. And again, it feels like a love of it. If this is relating to work, there you go. 9 of Pentacles can be self-employment. Doesn't have to be. But I feel like, maybe the Emperor is the leader, the boss, the supervisor. But here I am now in the 9 of Pentacles. This is my own reward, right? No one can take it from me. Okay, interesting. I'm not quite ready to let it go yet. Just going to go right across the middle. We have the Seven of Pentacles again. We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Nine of Wands. It's becoming stronger than the problem. We have the Chariot. Beautiful. There's my movement. There's the movement I was looking for. But let's go back a little bit. So we have the Seven of Pentacles. Again, you know, it tells me it's been your seed of intention. And don't think it's just the good things in life. It's also the difficult things, because you're here to grow. You're here to learn. You're here to really become the master teacher. The Eight of Swords, and by the way, it's touching the Lovers. So I kind of feel like this Emperor, it doesn't have to be an Aries. I feel like it was one way a person is or was in my life, and maybe then I brought many like that into my life. Because the Eight of Swords, it's almost like I'm allowing it, right? It's almost like I bowed down to it, for whatever the reason, you know, but it is self-created, and that just means that you yourself, you know, it's like it's interesting, you go from the 8 to the 9 to the 10, so look at the progression. It doesn't have to be that way, right? Right at the 8, it gives you an opportunity, because the 8 asks for a new beginning. So, you know, new beginning in what? In the way, in what you think you have to carry, and what you really don't, and what you think you have to defend, and really you don't, right? Why? Because there's a different way, a different direction. Don't look at like the Eight of Swords as like a self-created prison. But the Nine of Wands is the opposite. It talks about, you know, even though I'm worn and torn, you know, what I have learned and gained, right? It's a strength that I have gained. The 9, I don't take on any more than I need to take on. And then the Chariot, the movement. So I feel like who's ever in that Eight of Swords, first of all, I want you to see the progression from the 8, the 9 to the 10. You know, here's the opportunity to break out of it. And the only way to do that is to see it. Here's the opportunity just to look at your past and say, you know, yeah, it's been rough. But in the same breath, I'm better than what I was, right? I know who I am. Like, I didn't have an opportunity. I had to figure it out. Nine of Wands is saying, once you tell yourself that and see how you've grown and evolved and truly become stronger, though you may feel weaker. I feel like once you find your voice, like, it's like bursting this bubble that you think is around you, you know, or it's almost like someone, you know, put this bubble around you, and like made you believe it was only their way, right? But I feel like you're breaking that bubble. You don't know if you're meant to stick around in battle or just move on, that type of thing. Anyway, ultimately, from the Nine of Swords, our last card is the Nine of Pentacles, which is completely opposite energy. So I feel like, you know, people do break free. People are learning, you know, not to carry more than they're meant to. That type of thing. Learning your voice. You know, I feel like ultimately we have the Ten of Pentacles here too. And I feel like whoever like is within that Ten of Pentacles, your intuition is like on fire. Very strong here. And I feel like you got to learn just to trust that. I feel the similarity of a path, you know, like two people who, you know, maybe more like-minded, like they're like you have this knowledge for something, and someone else may also have, you know, be seeking knowledge, and that may, your paths may cross. I just want to put that out there. I don't even know if I'm reading that or just feeling that. So anyway, let's go ahead and read Mother Mary's card. You know, you got to remember time is fluid also, because I can feel people with different periods through the reading. You know, some are at the beginning, some are, you know, are now having that, you know, certain awarenesses. Some aren't quite there yet. Some are beyond that. You know what I mean? Because we're here to help each other. And probably everyone who comes here has had some form, you know, of this. What am I looking for? Okay. Mother Mary sends you this card because you have a close and personal relationship with her son, Jesus. They both hear and lovingly answer your prayers. Jesus offers healing support to you and your loved ones, as well as helping you have faith in God's miracles of love. This card is also a reminder that Jesus loves you and everyone on this planet, regardless of faith. He is a wonderful role model of forgiveness, integrity, and love that you can emulate in your current situation. Well, okay. And sometimes that love is meant to go to you. So, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I can't, you know, there's certain readings I do, like I cannot wait to read your comments. And this is going to be one of them. It's interesting how that Eight of Swords is now smack in the middle of this spread. So don't let that become, you know, it's an energy that asks for a new beginning. So I kind of want to like move it away. And there we go. I love you guys. I will see you next time at my table. Bye-bye.